Climate is what we expect and weather is what we get. Weather is the condition of the atmosphere at a particular place. Hello students, how are you all? This is your Arindam sir and I welcome you all to your YouTube channel Revision Learning. Today I am going to start the third chapter of the Social Studies book, Enjoy and Learn Term 1 Social Studies, and the name of the third chapter is Weather and Climate. Weather is the condition of air, temperature, wind, air pressure, rainfall, and humidity in the atmosphere at a given place and time. Weather can change from day to day and even from hour to hour. Climate, on the other hand, is the average weather condition over a longer period of time. Let's first discuss about the weather. So students, as I said earlier, weather keeps changing always. The weather conditions of the morning may be totally different from the evening. A hot and humid day may suddenly change into a cloudy or a windy weather. We always choose clothes, our dresses and foods based on this weather. If we are feeling very hot, we will prefer a cold drinks or ice cream, whereas in case of a cold weather, we will go for a hot tea or coffee. But the weather conditions that prevail over a vast area and for a longer period of time is called climate. The climate of the Himalayan region is cold, whereas the climate of the southern part of India like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, etc. is always hot. Our clothing, types of houses where we live, our transportation and the food habits are all influenced by this climate of the place where we live. Factors that influence climate. First, latitude and distance from the equator. The earth gets heated by the rays of the sun falling on it. From the picture in your book, we can say that the places that are located near the equator receives direct rays of the sun, as the rays of the sun falls vertically on it. But near the two poles, that is North Pole and South Pole, it falls in a slanting way. Different parts of the earth receives different amounts of heat from the sun. So the equator is the most hotter as it is closer to the sun, while the two poles, North Pole and South Pole, have a colder climate as it is far away from the sun rays. Now students, you should know that to find any place on a globe or on a map, we use some imaginary lines. We call it as latitudes and longitudes. The point on the north is called the North Pole and the point on the south is called the South Pole. And equator is another imaginary line that divides the earth into two halves. Students, we will read all this in details in your second chapter. Okay? Now, let's continue with the second factor that influences climate. Altitude or height above the sea level. Places at higher altitudes or height receives less amount of heat than those places that are at lower altitude. Thus, the temperature at higher altitudes is very low than that of the plain, or we can also say that the temperature decreases as the height of the land increases. This is the reason why hilly stations or hill stations are cooler even in summer. Most peaks in the Himalayan mountains experience snowfall because of this height or altitude. They remain covered with snow even in the summer season also. We can take the example of Darjeeling, which is cooler because it is at a height of 6,982 feet above sea level than Delhi, which is at the sea level. Okay. Now let's come to the third, distance from the sea. Places that are far from the sea have extreme climate throughout the year. That is, they will be very hot in summer and very cold in winter. When it is summer season, the land gets heated faster. It makes the air warm, and this warm air, when rises, makes a way for the cooler air coming from the sea to blow in. This cooler air cools the land near the coast. But in winter season, the sea gradually loses heat and remains warm. This warm air, when rises, blows towards the land, and it makes the environment warm. This is why distance from the sea plays a very vital role in influencing the climate. Now let's come to the humidity. What is humidity? When air has a large content of moisture or water vapor in it, it leads to humidity. It is one of the main reasons of rainfall, because rainfall occurs because of this humidity. The amount of rainfall influences the climate of that particular place. Direction of winds. Winds have a great effect on the climate of a place. Winds blowing from the desert areas are hot and dry, while those blowing from the sea are cool and moist. Winds also plays a major role in the formation of clouds that causes rain. Winds blowing over oceans and seas carries moisture, which rises up and becomes cool to form water droplets, causing rain. Again, when a wind reaches a mountain, it is forced to rise up. That makes it cool, forming water droplets, which causes rain. Hence, it rains more in the hilly or mountain areas. Okay. Now students, let's see about the climatic zones or heat zones. The earth is divided into 3 climatic or heat zones. This division is based on the intensity of sunlight received by a particular area or place, and also it is based on the rainfall. The 3 climatic or heat zones are: number 1, the torrid zone, also called as the tropical region. The word torrid means the zone that receives the direct rays from the sun, that is, it is the most hottest zone. Now the second is the temperate zone, also known as the temperate region. The temperate zone is that zone that is neither too hot nor too cold. It is moderate. And the last is the frigid zone, also called the polar region. The frigid zone, by the word you can guess that it is the most coldest zone. Now let's see in details about these climatic or heat zones. First, torrid zone. Where is torrid zone located? It lies on both sides of the equator. Students, you can see the picture that I have provided here. The torrid zone lies in both sides of the equator. It lies between the Tropic of Cancer in the north and the Tropic of Capricorn in the south. Now, what is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn? These are the imaginary lines that indicates the north temperate zone and the south temperate zone. Now, the line which is in between the equator, that is the middle line, and the Arctic Circle, you can see in your book the line which is in between the equator and the Arctic Circle, which defines the north temperate zone, or is known as the Tropic of Cancer, the imaginary line. And the line which is in between the equator and the Antarctic Circle that defines the south temperate zone is known as the Tropic of Capricorn. It is also so the torrid zone lies in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. Okay. The climate, as I said you earlier, here the climate is very hot. It always remains hot because because of the equator is very close to the sun, so here the sun rays falls directly on this area, on this zone. The sun shines brightly and the temperature is very high in this torrid zone all through the year, as a result of which it rains almost every time in this zone. This area is always covered with the thick and dense forests. Thus, these forests are known as rainforests because of the heavy rainfall. Now let's come to the second zone, the temperate zone. So this zone is located in between the torrid and the frigid zone, that is in between the Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, that is in the northern side, and in between the Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere, that is on the south side. As I told you earlier, this area is neither very hot and nor very cold because of its distance from the equator. So hence the summers are not very hot here and the winters are also not very cold. Most of the plains and the grasslands are found in this zone. Now let's come to the third zone, the frigid zone. This area lies in between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern side, it is in the northern hemisphere, and in between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere, that is in the south side. As I said you earlier, the climate of this area is the coldest one because it prevails on that part of the globe where the climate is generally very cold. Why? Because it is very, very far away from the equator. Okay. Now here the summers are very short and cool and the winters are very long and very severe. The seas and the lands in the Arctic and the Antarctic circles are remains frozen throughout the year. This land is famous for its midnight sun. Now see, what is midnight sun? The sun does not set for the days at a stretch for 6 months. The sun here does not set at a stretch for the 6 months, and for the another 6 months the sun does not rise for the days at a stretch. This is very strange, but it happens only in the frigid zone. Very little vegetation is found in this zone, and this frigid zone is also called as the polar region, where you have got in the animal world that the polar bears are there in this polar zone or the polar region. Okay students, now let's see some of your new words that we have got in this chapter. Heat zones, that means the divisions of the earth according to the climate. Frigid, the zone that is the coldest. Temperate, the zone that is neither too hot nor too cold. Torrid, the zone that receives direct rays from the sun. Altitude, vertical distance from the sea level. Humidity, water content in the air. And weather, condition of air, temperature, wind, air pressure, rainfall and humidity in the atmosphere at a given place and time. So I hope that you have understood this chapter number 3, weather and climate. If you still have any doubt or queries, you can ask me in this comment section below. Till then, keep studying and don't forget to subscribe Revision Learning and press the bell icon so that you never miss any of our classes. See you soon, and thanks for watching.